Hey everybody, we are here with the sniper this time, and we are going to go over some of his weapons as per the usual. So, starting off with his primary, basically the sniper, he has sniper rifles, is essentially what's going on. So you have the basic sniper rifle, which basically all you do is a couple things to note is sniper rifle is one of the few hit scan weapons that doesn't have damage fall off, meaning that the damage is not based on how far somebody is away from you. So that's one important thing to know. You can just shoot this gun like from the hip, and it does like 50 damage each hit. But obviously, you're a sniper. If you right click, you scope in, and then you can scope in. You have more control over your shots. You can be more accurate, see farther, that type of thing. Also, the longer you're charged in, the more damage you do, up to a certain point, up to 150 damage maximum. And obviously, that's a lot of damage. I mean, and then if you headshot somebody, if you get a headshot, if you shoot somebody in the head, whatever damage your bullet would have done does 3 times as much. So if you're gonna do 150 damage and you headshot somebody, that's 450 damage. That will kill anybody in the game. There is one exception. There are some weird exceptions to that, but they don't really happen in regular TF2. It's only like with mods and stuff that can be broken. But so that's the regular sniper rifle. I guess I'll go to the bizarre bargain because it's basically the regular sniper rifle, except it charges slower. But if you get each headshot you get a head. It's kind of like the Islander for the demo man. You get a head for each headshot you get. But if you miss a headshot while you're scoped in, you lose a head. You can shoot this as much as you want when you're not scoped in, and you won't lose any of your head count. But if you shoot while you're scoped in, you don't get a headshot, you lose it. Each head increases your charge rate by 10%. So obviously you have to get 2 headshots without missing to make this as good as the regular sniper rifle. And after that point, it actually starts getting better. I don't like it because a lot of times what this encourages you to do is to be really careful with your shots. And while it's good to be careful, a lot of times it's better just to take shots, even if it's a body shot or something, than it is to just like, oh, I have 2 heads. I'm going to wait forever for my thing. And it's like another thing is you have to get 2 heads for this to be as good as a sniper rifle. So it's like if you haven't had the opportunity to get 2 heads and you find you're up against a heavy and you want to kill the heavy in one shot, you have to wait substantially longer to charge up the shot enough to do a one-shot kill on him. So I personally don't like this. I don't know if I'll ever even use this in the video, just because it's like even if you're a good sniper, regular sniper rifle is still generally better. Because I mean the charge isn't even that big of a deal, to be honest. Because I mean you can prep the charge. It's much more like the increased charge is not a big deal because the regular sniper rifle charges fast enough. You don't really need the extra charge, and losing the charge actually does make more of a difference. So that's why I don't really like it. And then we have the Machina, which is basically the sniper rifle again. You cannot fire unless you're zoomed. So there's no doing any no scopes with this. You have to be scoped in to shoot this gun. When you shoot this, it leaves a trace around, meaning it's kind of like a railgun effect. You just see like the exact where the bullet went. You can see it really easily. I mean, you might see it I probably actually use this. You can see it, so it's pretty ridiculous. Makes it very easy for people to find out where you shot from. If you fully charge this, you get an extra 15% damage, which is kind of not needed. I mean, you'll do like 170 damage, but I mean, a full body shot from any other gun is going to kill basically anybody. Really, the only thing that body shot helps you do is that you can like body shot demo man then with that or something similar. But really the main reason why you would want to fully charge it is when you have it fully charged, you can shoot through people, which means if there's like 2 people standing like in a line and you shoot through both of them with this when it's fully charged, you'll hit both of them. And so that's always pretty fun. That's like the only reason I ever use it, just because it's fun when that happens. Then we have the Cine Sleeper. No random critical hits. None of these sniper rifles have random critical hits, by the way. So the Cine Sleeper has no random critical hits either. You cannot get headshots with it. But it does charge 25% faster. And if you charge it a certain amount, if you charge it for like a second, then if you hit somebody with this, it applies a Girardi effect to them, and we'll get to Girardi in a second. But obviously, this also comes with a set bonus, the Croco style kit you can see in the bottom. If you have that entire set, you cannot be killed by headshots, which is pretty cool. So this gun is like you can kill people like scouts. It's pretty easy to kill scouts and stuff with this gun because you can charge it really fast, and then just body shot them and kill them. But obviously you can't get headshots. It's gonna make you a lot less effective against most people. The Jarate effect is nice, but it's like, why apply Jarate when you can kill somebody? I don't know. That's just kind of the reason I don't really like this. Also, it kind of trains people to be bad snipers because then they don't go for headshots and then they never really improve in a sense. Because it's like, that's one thing about sniper, and that's one thing I'm gonna have trouble showing in the video, is a lot of it is just aim. And it's like, if you use this gun, you're not gonna get better at it. Like, I see a lot of newer players using this gun, and it's like, you shouldn't be using this gun if you want to actually get good at sniper, because you're not practicing, really. You know what I mean? So I don't really like this gun. I wish I'd ever put it in, because it really just encourages more shitty snipers than anything. I mean, it's a good gun. I mean, like, professional players and stuff use it sometimes, but it's just like, it's not... I wish they wouldn't have it in, because there's a lot of weapons I wish you couldn't have until after you had sunk in a certain amount of hours in a class. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. And then we have the Huntsman, which is a bow and arrow. It doesn't show any of the stats on here, and it's pretty difficult to explain. Basically, it charges a lot faster. When you can't zoom in with it, but it charges a lot faster. The weapons have arc and travel time. The arrows, obviously, they have arc and travel time. The damage fully charged, this is 120, not 150 like the snipers. This is 120, so a fully charged headshot does 360 damage. But the headshot, but it does charge a lot faster, and you can move faster with this drawn than you can while scoped with the other sniper rifles. So it's a lot better mobility. Also, the hitbox for this is bigger. It uses the explosives hitbox, which is significantly bigger than the bullet hitbox. So it's a lot easier to hit people with this in terms of hitbox issues. However, you know, you have to account for the travel time and stuff, so it's very hard to hit people who are actually paying attention at long range. So it's much more of a close range weapon. It's basically the deal with that. Let's see. Okay, so here we have Jarate. I guess I'll talk about Jarate. So the City Sleeper applies Jarate, and obviously when you throw Jarate, it applies Jarate. Now, when you put Jarate on an enemy, any damage they take while they have the Jarate on them is a mini crit, and that means it does 33% more damage. So that's pretty good. Another thing is, you can, if you hit a spy with the Jarate effect, you can see them while they're cloaked, kind of. I mean, you can see, they'll be like dripping the pee, basically, because this is pee, if you guys didn't know that. But they'll be dripping pee if you cover them this, and then you can find them really easily. So it's very good anti-spy. And Jarate's, it's kind of like an explosion of pee, really. I mean, it's like an area of effect thing. It's just also handy for putting out a fire. If you throw this on one of your teammates or yourself, it puts out fire on them. So it's good for that too. It can be very helpful when you say get hit by a flare when you're trying to snipe, because that sucks. Also, I forgot there's a new sniper secondary out called the Cozy Camper. It's basically a piece of shit, so I'm not going to use it. But what it does is when you're scoped in, you move slower, but if you get shot, you don't flinch. Normally, if you're zoomed in and you get shot, your aimer will mess up. What the fuck is this? Okay, but if you get shot normally while you're zoomed in, you'll shake. That doesn't happen with the Huntsman, by the way, because you don't zoom in. So if you get shot with the Huntsman, it doesn't mess up your aim. But so the Cozy Camper is really not that good, because I mean, you're moving so slowly while you're zoomed in. It's really annoying. And then you're sacrificing your secondary slot for something like that. They have Darwin's Dangerous Shield. Basically, all it does is it gives you 25 more health. As far as I'm concerned, that doesn't really help you a lot, because it doesn't help you in sniper duels, because a headshot does 150 damage base, and you're going to die anyways from a headshot from a sniper, so it doesn't help in sniper duels. Unless you have the full set. If you have the full set, you can see you cannot be killed by headshots. So the full set's kind of a sniper killing set. But yeah, I don't think the 25 health helps a lot. I mean, it can help you sometimes. There are some times where it would be helpful, but it's like, you could conversely have the Jarate or something else, you know. It's always a consideration of, the weapon is good, but other weapons you can have are better, you know. I mean, it's like, this isn't horrible, but it's just like, Jarate, SMG, I think I'll take one of those too. SMG is basically, it's kind of like a pistol, but it shoots really fast. It just shoots, it's just a machine gun, pretty much. I think it does less damage than a pistol, but it shoots like substantially faster. It's really good if you can aim it. If you can aim it, it does tons of damage. I'm talking about, and you can kill a heavy with one clip of this pretty easily if you're close enough. So then you have the Razorback. It blocks a backstab. So if a spy tries to backstab you and you have this, it blocks the backstab. The spy, he kind of like actually, well, it makes a noise when he stabs you with this, so you know he tried to stab you. And also the spy kind of he kind of freezes, like he can't switch weapons for a second after he stabs somebody with the razorback, so he's kind of just frozen there. He can still move around, but he can't really do much else. So I mean, using this protects you against spies a little bit, but the problem is any decent spy is just gonna notice that you have the razorback and they're just gonna shoot you, because generally they'll just wait till you're zoomed in and they'll just shoot you. It'll take 3 shots at most, and you'll die. And generally, unless you're really fast, you're gonna take at least 2 shots before you can get out of zoom, before you like realize you're getting shot. And then by that time, all he has to do is make 1 more shot. And if he's at full health, you have to do 125 damage. Basically, the only way you're gonna do that is if you pull off a really quick headshot. And it's like, you'd be better off just trying to maintain situational awareness about you, trying to remember where their spies are. Melee, you have the kukri, which is a standard melee. One thing about the kukri is it does have a very long reach compared to many melee weapons, so that's something important to remember. Have the conscientious objector, which is just a rescan of the kukri. Then you have the Troublesman Shiv. You have a 50% damage penalty, but you can cause people to bleed. This can be useful for spies and things, but generally, if somebody's up in your face as a sniper, you want them to die, like right now, because you don't have the health for sustained combat. You can't afford to be fighting somebody for like 20 seconds while you're waiting for them to freaking bleed to death. That's stupid. So it's just like, I think it's better to have the kukri or another melee weapon. The bleed is handy for fighting spies, but if you're really that worried about fighting spies, you should use Jarate, because it's so much easier to use. It's a lot easier to hit spies with it, and it's just a lot easier. And then you have the Shahansha. You have a 25% increase in damage. You have a 25% decrease in damage when your health is above 50%. So if you're like at full health, it's just 25% less than what what the kukri would do. But if you're below 50% health, this does more damage. I would say the Shahansha is probably better than the kukri in a lot of situations. Because generally, if you're forced to melee, you're low on health or something because somebody's attacking you. So it can be good. I don't know. It's pretty good, but what I personally prefer to use is the Bushwhacker. Because this gives you 25%, I mean not 25, 20% fire vulnerability, so you take 20% fire damage. But my favorite thing by far is to use this with the Jarate. Because you can see this crits whenever it normally mini crit. And so the Jarate gives you mini crits, so what you do is you throw Jarate on somebody, and you hit them with this, and it's a crit. And you can just take out anybody really fast. It's so easy to kill people. Like, there have been times where I've thrown Jarate on, like, a group of 5 people, walked in, and just, like, started smacking them in the heads. And just, like, bam, everybody's dying. And I kill, like, 5 people because they were distracted by something. It's just ridiculous. And, you see, you have the fire vulnerability on this, right? The thing is, you can use Jarate to put the fire out. So they just synergize extremely well. It's just, like, amazing. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, if you're using the Bushwhacker, you have to use Jarate. That's basically the only thing. And if you're not using the Bushwhacker, I don't know why. If you're not using the Bushwhacker, you should be using the SMG. And probably one of the other melee weapons. One really fun thing with this is if you can get a buff banner soldier, because the buff banner gives you mini crits, and you can just go around critting the shit out of everybody too. That's pretty fun. But so yeah, that's it. That basically takes care of all the weapons. He doesn't actually have a lot of variety in his weapons. I mean, it's basically sniper rifle. I mean, it's sniper rifle or melee. It's like really only his secondaries or what are kind of unique. But this is probably my favorite set here that I have right there. This is probably one of my other favorites. I could either swap out the sniper for this or not. I would say if you're using the Machina, you want to use the SMG because you can't no-scope. So if somebody gets up in your face, you don't want to have to just rely on melee. You do want to have the option of having like a short-range shooting weapon. So like this, like these 2 sets are by far my favorite. So that's just me. And here's my Huntsman set. I kind of just like it like this. Huntsman is, yeah, we'll see if I use it. I don't know. It kind of depends on how well I'm doing with the regular sniper rifle. But that's basically it for all of the weapons. So, hopefully you guys found some insight into that. As far as for the video goes, most of the video is going to be me talking about, like, positioning, because a lot of snipers just knowing how to aim, and, I mean, I can give you guys some tips. I mean, I'll try, but it's like, you can't get better unless you practice aiming-wise. I mean, you're not just good at aiming. I mean, some people like are good at aiming because you know they just are, but it's like you're not gonna get better if you don't practice and like actually play sniper. And that's why I don't like the Cine Sleeper, because nobody's gonna get better if they're not going for headshots with that weapon. Thankfully, I don't see very many people using the Cine Sleeper anymore. So when it first came out, everybody was using it, and I was just raging up a storm because of that. I was like, people shouldn't be using this unless they're like actually already pretty good. And if you're already actually pretty good, you should be using the regular sniper rifle because it's generally more effective, I think. I think a lot of people also would agree with me. It's kind of just like why would you ever use it? Because like if you're using it, you're not getting better, and if you're already good enough to where you can use it, there's no reason to use it because you can be more effective with other things. But yeah, I feel it's kind of the same thing with the Huntsman. Like the Huntsman is useful for newer players who can't aim as much, but then once again that encourages them not to get good with the regular sniper rifle, which is generally more effective. So once you're good enough to actually use the Huntsman, you're better off using the regular sniper rifle. It's kind of just like both those weapons. Just there's really no reason to use them. I mean, the Huntsman is I would say is better than the Cine Sleeper just because the Huntsman, at least in public play, because in the Huntsman, it's some levels it's really good if they're really close quarters. Like Dust Bowl would be a decent Huntsman map. But enough talking about theory and stuff. I will talk more about this stuff in the game, go more over how I snipe, how I like to snipe, and hopefully I can give you guys some tips about how to improve aim. There are some things I've learned that I think are not easily apparent that hopefully will help people out. So that's that, and I guess I'll see you guys in the actual gameplay.